welcome to episode number 2 of the Runs on the Board podcast. Welcome back, Adam. Welcome to Brisbane, by the way.
Mate, thank you. Very excited. Pod 2 in person. Love it.
Yeah, that's right. What are you doing in Brisbane?
Mate, we're here for the Central Champions League. We're loading up on that and actually having a look at some old man's cricket, some over 40s with the Toot Byron Cup in Brisbane this weekend. So going to go have a look at that as well.
Yeah, nice. Toot Byron Cup, it's been around for a while now, isn't it? A couple of years.
Yeah, it's been around. I think it's bringing some of the old guys back. It's an over 40s comp, so bringing some old guys back into cricket. So, I think the older you get, you still love it, right? So there's some decent old cricketers running around at Norths this weekend.
Oh, mate, brilliant. Love it. Okay, now we're going to do a little bit of a deep dive in the off-season, which is great because we've still got, the Shield draws out, actually, so we can plan our games ahead for the upcoming season. But we've got a bit of time until the first game is played, but we're going to go a little bit of a team-by-team breakdown. And today we're going to do, of course, none other than the back-to-back champions, South Australia. Going for 3, are they?
Three in a row. It'd be a huge effort if they can do it, but you wouldn't put it past them. They've got a great squad, and they've made some additions, which we'll talk about.
Absolutely, they do. So before we begin about those ins and outs, curious to know what they're doing right. What's Ryan Harris doing right as a team?
Look, I think historically it's been really hard for South Australia because of the population, but what they've done over probably the last 5 or 10 years is they're just recruited so well. Now, they've recruited players like McAndrew, Thornton, there's from a bowling, Doggett has come down, obviously. So the guys that potentially in their own states, their home states, weren't looking like they were going to play for Australia. We're going to play a lot of first-class cricket. Like Nathan McSweeney, Jason Sam, majority of their team, Mackenzie Harvey, Fraser-McGurk, these guys, they've just recruited really, really well. And I think that's hats off to what South Australia have done. They're still bringing through homegrown talent, which is what actually happens. The South Australians get upset when there's not enough homegrown talent in their state squad. But I think the way they've done it now and their programs, it's really impressive, because they have gone through years where they have recruited, they haven't won, and then they've dumped all those players. And I was probably one of them. I went over there, played in sort of 2011, won a premiership or won a one-day flag with South Australia. But then the next year, because we went so poorly in the Shield, they cut a lot of those guys that they'd sort of brought in. But at the moment, they're winning, so they're happy to stick with it. Ryan Harris is a great coach, and he's doing super well. And this South Australian side, it's been pieced together from across the country, but it's elite, it really is.
Mate, and a few changes, not many wholesale changes from last year. We've got Matthew Gilkes coming out from New South Wales, and Jake Weatherald from Tasmania, which is obviously quite a big move if he's available and not playing Test cricket. Noah McFadden, Justice Wadia, and Thomas Brown, Kane Halfpenny, and Hayden Schiller, and a few outs. A couple of people, contracts weren't renewed and retirements, etc. What do you make of the changes this year?
Yeah, look, I think they're really good. Like, they're obviously, to get Weatherald back, he wanted to come back to Adelaide. That's good. He's done his time, but the one I'm really excited about is the Matthew Gilkes one. Matthew Gilkes is a serious player, and he's played a lot for New South Wales. To come over and for him to get in there, it's going to be, that'll be a big one. But Kane Halfpenny, you hear a lot of really good things about him. Hayden Schiller, obviously we saw Wadia in the Big Bash last year do really well. So they've got some guys that are around the mark that are serious players. Noah McFadden did well. He won the medal last year in South Australia. So he's one to watch. And look, they've got a dynamic, and it's across the board. It's not just batters, not just bowlers. They've recruited a keeper. They've still got Nielsen there. So they're really strong. They're strong with the quicks, and they're strong now with the batting and added to the keeping.
And then you throw in the Cricket Australia contracted players, Alex Carey, Brendan Doggett, Travis Head, and Jake Weatherald. And I know that Alex Carey loves to come back and play when he can, and makes a significant difference, obviously, in the Shield final as well. But Jake Weatherald potentially as well. If things, he doesn't open the batting for Australia, will come back, and it will be a big asset for them.
Yeah, it'd be a huge one. And Spencer Johnson coming back from injury as well.
Spencer Johnson.
Yeah.
There you go. It wasn't wouldn't have played too many Shield games.
No, he hasn't played for a bit. He's been injured, but he's come back. Obviously, just played in the Australian series overseas in Pakistan. So he's bowling fast, and from all reports, he's back and raring to go.
Talk about these plethora of quicks with McAndrew, Buckingham, Scott, Thornton, Spencer Johnson to come.
Where's Hagar?
Where's Hagar as well?
Who are we missing?
Brendan Doggett. Brendan Doggett last year, played 19 wickets at 17.89. Played for Australia as well. A couple of tests for Australia, maybe 3 tests, I think, for Australia last year, 2 or 3. What do you reckon? Where does he fit in?
Yeah, look, I think he leads the attack, right? And I think he's amazing, and what he's done just on the outskirts of Australian cricket has been awesome. Like, will he get more opportunities in the baggy green? I think he probably will. But when he plays for South Australia, he's huge, and he's just skillful and strong and fit. Like, these guys are so fit. But Brendan Doggett, yeah, he's a star, and depending on Australian selection, it potentially will come down. Like, if he doesn't get picked for Australia, he's not travelling as on the list as 12th and playing a lot for South Australia. Wow, it's going to make it hard. I don't know how you go. What 3 quicks do you pick?
Mate, you've got 6 there.
Yeah.
Sorry, and Liam Scott's in there, obviously. Last top 5 wicket takers last year, McAndrew 38, Buckingham 29, Scott 28, Thornton 23, Doggett 19, Spencer Johnson didn't play. So
that's how you win Shield cricket.
Just there's that depth there. So obviously South Australia, and Ryan Harris as well as the coach, charging on in, and it's probably still bowling 150 quick. Anyway, there you go. The bowling lineup is just probably the best in the country, you'd have to say.
And they do say that the bowlers win championships, bowlers win the shields. Batters, yeah, you need to make runs, but if you have a bowling attack like that, you're very, very hard to beat.
Yeah, and let's touch on the bats. Jake Fraser-McGurk in Shield cricket obviously came through a bit of a fast path in whacking balls, but Shield cricket's a different element. Keen to understand a little bit about what your thoughts are there.
Yeah, look, I'm a big Fraser-McGurk fan. I think he's great. He gets out there and backs himself. He's gone through a really tough period where he's just trying to find how he can score, what he can do at Shield cricket, and probably lessening the risk. For me, the issue he's always had is just his foot movement. He just needs to make sure that he's really decisive with his foot movement. But if he can get that right, we know how skilled he is, and he hits the ball beautifully. If he can get himself going, I think there's still a lot of upside with Fraser-McGurk.
And speaking of openers, test openers, but not Shield openers, Nathan McSweeney.
I'm a huge McSweeney fan. He's obviously over in county cricket doing really well with Northants, I believe. And I read something the other day, Darren Lehman just talking about how amazing he's been for their group over there. And again, just as another Shield winning captain to come back, he's every time you see him, he's just an impressive young man. Nathan McSweeney, who's making runs, leading his team well, and yeah, he's huge.
No, I think there's a big future ahead for McSweeney. Obviously started with a couple of tests, and then Constance replaced him, and Weatherald's come in over the top of all of them last series, etc. At a test level. Henry Hunt, Jake Lehman, steady character, like just continually get runs over and over again, like his old man used to do for South Australia. Jason Sanger, Mackenzie Harvey as well. So a very decent batting lineup with those all-rounders we mentioned, Hanno Jacobs, Noah McFadden, Campbell Thompson, Liam Scott, and Joseph Wadia. And the keepers, mate, your neck of the woods.
Well, that's it. Yeah, Matthew Gilkes coming over from New South Wales, which is probably a massive off-season move. Harry Nielsen's going to be there taking up fighting that out for when Alex Carey's not around. But both those guys have the ability to play as batters as well. Gilkes has done it for New South Wales often. It'll be interesting to see how they do it. But you look at from the keeping and the batting situation, their ages are in a really good spot. Like they're probably the mid-20s. No one's really too old. And then you've got some senior guys like Trav and Alex when they come back around this. But Jake Lehman, obviously he'll play as overseas this year, I believe.
Right, okay.
Yeah,
from his UK heritage.
With his UK stuff.
So just on that, is there a overseas designated player? Is there?
Yeah, you can have an overseas player if you wish. Not a lot of teams sort of take it up, but you can, and this will be Lehman, I think, playing as a local for Hampshire, now comes back as plays as an overseas for South Australia. But we know how South Australian diehard the Lehman family are.
Yeah, that's right. A little bit of Queensland there as well. But if we go back to last year on the run scorer, Henry Hunt topped the run scorer. We haven't chatted too much about him. 673 at 35.
Yeah,
And that's a good, solid outing. And there's a lot of 30s for South Australia. But in fairness, I don't think there was too many people in Shield cricket last year that were getting 40s and 50s and averaging.
and I think this has been the discussion around the country, is that averaging 40 now is tough with the way that these guys are bowling, with the wickets. But Henry Hunt is another one. Come out of Canberra through Sydney over to Adelaide, has done really well. And I think if he can put another couple of years together, when guys like Smith and Head leave the Australian team, there's potentially a spot there for someone like a Henry Hunt who can do it. But as you said, mid-30s average. The hard thing is we look at the Australian players and we want them averaging 50 in Shield cricket, and that's the test for some of these batters. But it's a hard thing to do with some of these wickets and the balls that are going around at the moment.
Yeah, no, for sure. A couple of spinners there as well. Ben Menenti and Lloyd Pope still floating around, doing good things, much needed in crucial games as well, the spinners. Thoughts on those two?
Yeah, look, Menenti's great, and I think he showed in the Shield final that he's such a dynamic batter as well, and he's a really good player to have again out of Sydney. Lloyd Pope over playing in the US, I believe, in the major league, doing well, and
players are over there. So
yeah,
whacking the 200s of the T20.
that's it. But so Lloyd Pope obviously got called into the Shield squad, didn't play, but was sort of around that sort of 12. And he's good if he can get it right and consistent. Bowling wrist spin is hard, and we don't want to lose it. And having someone like a Lloyd Pope continually taking wickets and doing well, I think it's only a huge thing for South Australian cricket.
So if we look at the topics to explore for South Australia, some swing moments this year. Jake Fraser-McGurk, can he explode in the red ball game? Number one. Nathan McSweeney, is he going to get to the higher honours? If so, they might leave a gap for some other players to score some runs. If he doesn't, then he's got a good opportunity to get, probably even potentially lead the Shield run scorers. He's definitely got the talent for that. Travis Head pops in and out, obviously very unavailable from the test point of view, but when he plays, just a game changer at any point in time. And then the bowling depth, where we talked about the bowling depth. And then, the big question is, can they go 3 in a row, Crossy?
I think they can. Look, to win a Shield takes a lot of luck and a lot of hard work and a lot of grinding through a season, but they've got the cattle. Like they've recruited really well. They've recruited well again. As you said, they've got that depth in fast bowling. The batters are there to cover everyone. They've got some good all-rounders. I think they can go
3 from 3. And obviously with that depth, injuries happen. It's just part of the game. And then you got to have someone fill in, but the depth and experience of also playing Shield finals as well. Probably got 15 blokes that have played Shield finals there now.
But yeah, and I think that comes down to it. That's a big part of that, right? To be able to, we've been in domestic cricket, the biggest game. They say it's as close to a test match as you'll get, the pressure that's around a Shield final. And there's been a lot of pressure on South Australia. Obviously, that first one was the breakout win, and then to back it up and to beat that Victorian team in the final last year, which had one of the all-time seasons Victoria did, and to knock them off away from home was a huge win.
If we had one player to have a breakout year for South Australia, what are you thinking there? Like a big breakout year?
A big breakout year. I'm looking for Henry Hunt. I think Henry Hunt at the top of the order. Again, he's got the technique that can do it. He does grind runs. Someone like him to have a breakout year, average 50, make 700-800 runs would go a long way to for them on the batting side. And I think someone like a Henry Thornton, fast, aggressive, rapid, fit and firing now. So I think someone like those two are the ones to watch with the bat and the ball.
I'm going to say McSweeney for a stellar year, right? Just a really good year, going almost like a Mana style year.
Yeah.
Where he comes up and goes, I want to put my hand up.
Yeah.
Like, how are you going to put your hand up? 100, 100, 100. Prediction number 1. Prediction number 2, Liam Scott becomes a bit more of a household name. People go, Liam Scott, at the moment, they're like, oh, yeah, that's sort of the South Australian. But no, this is a quality all-rounder. Anyway.
Love it.
That's my tip for this year. We're going to finish up on South Australia. Crossy reckons they can go 3-peat. It's Queenslander. I don't know. Anyway, we'll see. We'll have to go into we'll work. We'll go Victoria next week, I think. We'll go in the pecking order.
Sounds perfect.
and runs on the board. There we go. All done. Thanks, Crossy.
Mate, awesome.